I think it's time to get rid of this thing. What's up, guys? I'm just going to try to slide it a little bit more smooth than that, but this old thing is not working very well. So if you want to know how to make a perfectly good Mustang, not that, a perfectly good running one, that is. If you've been watching my video, I picked this car up probably about, back in late September, early October. Got it from a neighbor. It's kind of a high mileage, you know, 4-valve car, but it's in really good shape. It's been well taken care of. But my problem I'm having with it is it's quiet. You can't have, that's two things I always said about a Mustang. You can't have one with an automatic, and you can't have a quiet one. It just doesn't make sense. Mustangs, and this is coming from a guy that's primarily a Chevrolet man, Mustangs have the best exhaust note ever. 5.0 Mustangs. Everybody's always tried to make everything sound like a 5.0 Mustang, but it doesn't matter which Ford, they always sound really, really good, you know. So what I did is I ordered an X-pipe from a supplier. Probably not going to say the name, you know what I mean, because it's an off-road X-pipe. But if you DM me, I'll tell you who I bought it from. But yeah, off-road X-pipe. It's got the quietest Flowmasters I've probably ever heard on it. So we're going to see if we can get a little bit of sound out of this Mustang. So let's check it out, and let's get this car jacked up and start taking apart something that doesn't need to be messed with. So back in the day, you could buy these off-road X-pipes for these Mustangs just all the time. But now, since things have got a bit more restrictive, all you can buy is catted ones. Well, I really didn't want to spend $750, $800 on a catted X-pipe when I got this one for about half of that. And, you know, as old as this car is, it really, it's not going to California or nothing. It'll be fine for no more than I'm going to use it. Only thing I'm kind of worried about is like the O2 sensors on the rear, you know, these back ones. I don't know if I need to turn those off or put the resistor in it or whatever, so it may throw an engine light. But I'm going to just basically, I think this has got 2 4.6 cats on it. So, and as old as it is, they may be kind of getting half stopped up. I don't know. I mean, the car runs great, but it should be a bolt on and go. I've done like 5 or 6 of these over the last 20 years. So I've done it before, but that was on somebody else's car, not mine. And I guess the older I'm getting, I'm like, why are you even messing with this? But it's a Mustang. It's got to sound good. Let's get started. All right, so here is what we are removing. The factory, I would call it an H-pipe with this crossover balance pipe. And I really don't even know if that's hooked up. And I was wrong. We have 4 catalytic converters on here. So, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna remove these O2s, get them out of there, and then start taking this thing loose. We got our bolts here. We got 2 O2 sensors right there. We have 2 right up here. I don't know if you can see or not, but yeah, we'll undo the manifolds up there, and this shouldn't be very hard. Like I said, I've been here before. I've done this before. Let's get it. I think it'll turn out pretty good. So these O2s, they're not too hard to take apart. You just pop them loose. I already loosened them up in the pipe. These up here are the booger. This one up here was kind of tough, but this one's really tough to get to. Trying to unplug it. Good thing I got smaller hands, because if you're a big-handed fella, you would not have gotten that. So now we're going to start by loosening up the manifolds. and hopefully nothing breaks off. We might have to use a little bit of heat to try to get that loose, but yeah, it's almost there. All right, so there's the factory 4-cat H pipe. We're gonna transfer these O2 sensors over to that one. And I believe, and now am I gonna take those bolts out of that? Maybe, I don't know. It didn't come with much hardware. Huh, we'll see. Let's go ahead and try to get this under there. Get some bolts in it. All right, we're done. Let's check it out. All right, so we're looking from the side. It's all under there. It all bolted up pretty good. The best way I did it was put it all together and leave everything loose and put it all together and get all the bolts in there and like tighten them up nice and slowly. The left side front O2 the plastic needed to be taken loose because it's about an inch too short, and then I'm gonna have to zip tie the rear O2s up. But I mean, it fits pretty good, and I think it's, you guys know what time it is. All right, will it run? Kind of nervous about it. Should fire right off. Does that touch anything else in that part? after an oil change and a few hundred miles, let's take this thing out and do a drive on it, see how it sounds. All right, let's go for a little test drive and see what it sounds like on the interior. So far, I think I found out this has like 80 series Flowmaster mufflers on it, so it's pretty crappy as far as sound. It just gives a little bit of tone, but it's not that great. But it does sound a whole lot better. So we'll pull out here. Before, like I said, this thing just it was very quiet. You just heard the mechanical noise. So my 6-liter Chevy pickup made more noise with the factory exhaust than this did. Yeah, it sounds pretty good. Now I have put a couple 100 miles on it. Earlier, look, it was smoking. It actually isn't. It was that when I first started, it was burning all that oil and whatever that galvanizing is off the pipes. I do, however, now have a service engine student light, which it had no lights before. So I'm probably gonna have to delete those rear O2s or put the simulators, or man, it's been so long I kind of forgot what you do in that, but that needs to be addressed. But yeah, it so far sounds pretty good. I like the tone. I think it needs a little bit more, and I'm contemplating buying a catback for it instead of having to buy mufflers and go to the muffler shop and all that stuff. That gets kind of annoying sometimes. Working out, getting a ride, and this, that, and the other, and dropping things off. It's kind of a pain. So I thought that was pretty cool. You can see where second gear hit, which usually you don't get. I don't know that I've ever really paid attention to see that, but yeah, you can see first gear, second gear, boom. Pretty good marks. So there you go, guys. That is the X-Pipe install on this 2003 Mach 1 Mustang. Turned out it feels like it's running pretty good. I don't know if it made any more power, but it definitely made it sound better. Still feels like it ran just as good as it did before. But yeah, I think the next thing is, do I change the mufflers and take it to the muffler shop, or did I just buy a catback for it? And then also I'm probably going to try to tune that, see what I got to do about the O2s to turn this engine light off. Usually it doesn't bother me, but this car has been so good since I've got it that I kind of want to turn it out. So yeah, what else do I need to do? I mean, I can't imagine how good this would run if it was tuned and had like 410s in it or 390s, but I really just like having it to drive. So, but I get a little bit better tone and everything out of it. So I may do some mufflers, may do a catback. I really like those Borla Attacks or some Black Widows. I've always actually wanted to put some spin techs on something, and I know on the Fox bodies you got a cammed 302 or 306 or 347 with some spin techs and an X-Pipe. I don't know if there's any car sounds better than that. So but yeah, that's gonna be all for this one. If you guys could hit that like button, subscribe, and man, I'm so close to having 1,000 subscribers. It's pretty cool. And what's amazing, my TikTok is jumping off pretty good, man. I get a lot of good feedback on that. So I've got a TikTok and Instagram and all that stuff. But yeah, man, It's pushing to 1,000 subscribers, and I got some pretty neat things to show y'all on the next video. So yeah, if you don't mind, if you're into Mustangs, tell me what sounds good, man. Should I put a cat back? Should I do just mufflers? Next thing, headers doesn't sound like a bad idea, but when it comes to working on this, I don't know if I want to put headers on it, but the idea would be pretty nice. So yeah, drop a comment. Let me know what y'all want to see me do with this car next. Or should I just sell it and get a Camaro or something? Or a Trans Am? I don't know. But I do like it though, man. This is probably, I don't know, one of the best bangs for the buck right now, especially in that. And you don't see these Mustangs as much as you used to, so yeah, pretty stoked to have it. Appreciate it, guys. Let's move on to the next.